This shark hat is really itchy. Hi everyone, I'm the Arty Dans from SHOCKMANIA, also known as a grown-ass man in a shark puppet hat. And here we are about to look at a new Chinese shark movie called The Shallows. You might have already seen a preview that I had for this movie on the channel. I finally got a chance to watch the full movie, and it's the second Chinese shark movie that's based on an existing American property. 2 years ago, we had the excellent Sharktopus, which was a remake of the original Roger Corman Sharktopus. Well, not so much a remake, but more of an inspiration. Here we've got The Shallows, which again is not a remake of the 2016 film with Blake Lively. It's a reimagining of that film, keeping the survival element. I've got to take this hat off because not only is it hot, it's really itchy. Oh, that's so much better. I like the hat, but it's just too much. So what's The Shallows about? Well, in The Shallows, we follow a scientist called Li Xiang, sorry. And as she wakes up on a surfboard in the middle of the ocean and a shark attacks her, she dies. And well, it keeps repeating. The day or the event keeps repeating until she can kind of work out in her head how she can survive. Now, if that sounds familiar, yes, it's a bit Happy Death Day, Groundhog Day kind of plot line to go along with this movie. The comparisons will be made with the 2016 film The Shallows, and the element that stays the same essentially is survival. But the Chinese movie goes off in a completely different tangent. So what we discover in the Chinese version is that everything is a simulation. And Dr. Li Xiang is inside a specifically created AI simulation that her and her team are developing in order to sell for medical and educational research. She has suffered from a spinal injury and she pushes herself into this world in order to advance their research because they are running out of money. And that is a theme of the film that we find out through the movie, that the whole purpose of her doing this is that so that their project can continue on. You know, this is not a bad film, I have to admit. It's a short film, 73 minutes, and there's a lot of shark action in the first 40 minutes. And in fact, you could be forgiven once you get past the halfway mark that it's not actually a shark movie at all, because you don't see the shark again until a fair bit later on. This is a shark sci-fi movie, but probably more of a sci-fi movie first, as it deals with the element of AI. And that is the biggest theme in this movie. It's not so much about the survival element, it's about AI and what AI is going to do to benefit or even hinder human life going forward. Now visually, the movie's great. Clearly the shark is CGI, you can tell that. But the set feels desolate. And it feels vast, which is clearly the aim that they're going for. Now, if you know anything about the Blake Lively movie from 2016, you'll know that a majority of it was filmed in a soundstage, and every now and then they actually shot on location. I would fathom a guess to say that this is entirely soundstage, and reminiscent of another Chinese shark movie called Blood Shark, which is identical in that it's just all filmed in a soundstage. Nice big water tank. It's probably got set up specifically to make shark movies in China. And this movie pulls it off well. It's interspread with scenes back at the laboratory where they're trying to wake up Dr. Li Xiang from her kind of induced experiment because something happens. The AI becomes a bit self-aware and is changing the simulation while she's in it. I did like the elements of survival in this movie. I like the fact that she's trying to work out how she can outsmart the shark and get to safety. All the things that happen within the simulation are explained later on in the film about why they place some significance. And there is even a hilarious bit of imagination in the film with this Gatling gun mounted duck that she rides on later on in the film. Now, there's an important question. If you've seen the original Shallows, you're asking, what about Steven Seagal? Well, I'm sad to tell you that there is a seagull in this film, but clearly there is no reference to Steven Seagal. I believe the seagull itself is probably more than likely the filmmaker's nod to the original film having the seagull in it. But there is no specific character in this movie with Steven Seagal or anything like that. Anyway, it is a good film. I would anticipate you would be able to see it rather shortly. The copy that I watched was a beautiful 4K release. So if you have a chance to see it in 4K, it looks absolutely stunning. Visual effects pop out really well. Colors pop out really well, as expected with 4K, I'd say. And the movie's easy to follow. There's not too much dialogue going on. And once you can kind of gather the fact that she needs to survive and her crew needs to try and save her from the simulation, you'll enjoy the film. Using my patent-pending ghost rating, which stands for great horror or stupid trash, I'll award this 3 ghosts because I think it is an entertaining movie, something that you can sit down, enjoy, and really enjoy, I should say. Sorry, it's short, the acting's decent, the effects are decent, the story makes sense, it's wrapped up rather nicely, and you can do a lot worse than this. Put it that way. You can do an absolute lot worse than this. And Chinese shark movies lately have been quite entertaining. And I think we can add this one. And so now I'm interested. We've had Sharktopus, which followed the basic plot of the Corman original, but Chinesed it up with something original. We've had this now, The Shallows. What's going to be the next American shark movie that the Chinese are going to reimagine? I am the Arty Dans. No. I am the Sharky Dans. Thank you so much for watching this review, and I will catch you next time.